Alright, I might just get started anyway and just let people join as they join. So I'm just going to share my screen, and I thought to begin with I'll go through the article. And then just, mention a few points as we go. And then if anyone has any questions, just feel free to jump in, interrupt me. It's not a typical AMA. We're just going to do like it's just a informal Q&A. So we can, maybe I should tag everyone. See what that does. Anyway, let's get started. So, what are professions? So here we're just talking about the different sort of categories of professions, and to begin with, it'll just be the gathering, crafting, and common. And here it gives a bit of a breakdown of each of the professions. I'm not going to read out exactly word for word what everything is, but it's pretty self-explanatory here. So wood cutting is harvesting trees to get wood. Mining is for your stone and metal. Crystals are obviously for your crystal extraction, and herbalism and so on. Where it gets a bit more interesting is with the crafting professions. So alchemy will be used for potions, elixirs, that sort of thing. And it will take resources from herbalism as a main source, but also from fishing as well. And there could be other elements in there as well, but that's the plan at the moment. So each of these professions will also have associated professions, which are in this table down here. So you can see here that alchemy has the herbalism and fishing on the side here. Carpentry has wood cutting, crystal extraction, and so on. So you can sort of read that in your own time. And I'll continue going through the professions here. Does anyone have any questions before I push on beyond here around?
Yeah, I have a question.
Go for it.
Can we, like, I don't know, get onto a stage where not everyone can just talk?
What do you mean, this, like the cosmic stage?
Yeah, like everyone can just freely talk right now, and some people might not recognize that their microphone is on, and that's kind of weird.
So we can't go on stage because I can't share my screen on stage. Stage is only for audio, unfortunately.
All right.
So yeah, we have to just stick with the voice chat. All right. So moving on. How to earn with character NFT staking. So we've all had about a day now to get started with this. And I'll show you a bit of a tutorial at the end once I've gone through this of how that's going to work. But basically, you just follow the instructions that are in here. So you have to unlock staking to begin with on each of the wizards that you want to stake, and that process costs 20 magic to do that. So it'll appear like this under your wizard, and then you just simply click unlock staking, approve the MetaMask transaction, and you're good to go. Then the next step will be to stake the wizard. So there'll be 3 buttons, and then you stake the wizard. Then after the wizard is staked, it will be earning you 1 magic per day. And then while it is staked, you can also train it in a chosen profession. And as you level that up, your staking rewards per day will also increase. So we'll go through that once we get there. Each level of training costs 90 magic. Here you go, you can see the table here. So the magic cost is uniform all the way through, and the training time increases as you get higher and higher in the profession. And that's the total there. So the maximum daily staking rewards is up to 41 magic per wizard once you've leveled all the way through, and that will take quite some time. As you can see, like the final points are taking several days to complete. So during the staking process, you can only have two professions chosen, but once the game is live, you will be able to take a 3rd profession and level that up in game. This bit is something that no one has actually asked me about yet, which is one of the things that I'm most excited for, is that each profession will have its own unique building, which you will sort of have sort of a base and add-ons to it, and it will sort of grow and develop from there. That's one of the things that I'm really looking forward to. That's pretty much it for the article. Like I said, I didn't really want to go too in depth into it, and just sort of let you guys ask whatever questions you have. Are there any questions about the article before I go into showing the example of staking? Anyone can unmute themselves to speak, or you can type in general if you don't feel comfortable speaking.
Everyone, this is Bani. Just have a question regarding the second profession. How do you select the second profession when you are in training?
Right. Sure. So you will only be able to get to the second profession once you've completely leveled the first one. So you'll need to go through from level 1 all the way through to 20 before you can move on to the second profession. Yeah.
Got it. That's going to be a long time, I guess.
Yeah, so it works out, I think it's about 30 days to get a profession from 1 to 20. I'm not sure exactly, but I'm sure someone can work it out and let me know.
Okay, thank you.
No worries. Okay. I'm just seeing if there's any questions in here. Okay, so how do you choose which profession to level up? Any guidelines? For me, it's just about choosing. So I'm sort of trying to make the professions in game as balanced and as equally viable in terms of usefulness as possible. So I want everyone to be able to choose whatever profession they want and still get value out of doing it, and not have one really overpowered profession that everyone does, or one that nobody does because it's not useful or not profitable or whatever. So ultimately, the answer to that is choose what you want to do, and what you want your wizard to focus on, and what might be fun for you in game. That's my advice. Yes, I'm going to get to staking in a moment. I'll show you an example of how to do it. In fact, I may as well do that right now. So this guy, Mr. Wizard 182, is currently not unlocked for staking. So let's just do it, I guess. So all you need to do is click this button here. You'll get the MetaMask transaction come up that you just need to approve. There might be two, I think, on the unlocking part, where you have to give authority and then you approve the transaction after that. So just wait for the second transaction to pop up and approve that one as well. Alright, then once that's happened, you should see all of these icons populate here, and that's all of the available professions. The number beside them is the level that they are. So you've got alchemy, architecture, entry, cooking, crystal extraction, farming, fishing, gem cutting, herbalism, mining, tailoring, and wood cutting. So those are the 12 available professions. Now down here you'll see the staking window. Now even though we've paid our 20 magic and we've unlocked staking, this wizard isn't earning us any magic per day at the moment. We need to stake him in order to begin earning. So if we click stake, then approve the MetaMask transaction. You can see that it's now staked. This updates automatically. This is no longer grayed out, and you'll see the rewards here will start to go up throughout the day. So this wizard is now earning. So what we can do now is choose a profession. So you just click the start button there and this window will pop up. The objective, and you can see the drop down window here of the 12 different professions that you can choose, and you simply choose one and click on start training. Now I'm not going to do that for this wizard just because I thought it might be cool to let you guys have it. I'm going to give this wizard away at the end of this Q&A session, so whoever wins it can choose what profession. We won't sort of choose for them, but we'll get to that later. Question from Idamok. Will we be able to change professions since some changes may happen to them? That's been a question that's been frequently asked today, and I'm really pushing for that to happen. So I think yes, I think it's safe to say that there will be something where you can do that once the game starts. Maybe like go and speak to an NPC in the game and pay a small cosmic fee to reset your professions, and then it'll reset your profession back to 0. Well, you'll lose progress in the profession that you're discarding, and then you'll start the new one again from 0. There's also been a suggestion, which I really like, for giving people that are staking now and choosing professions now the option for a free profession change once the game starts, because you're right, things could change quite significantly between now and then, so it would be a bit unfair to lock you in to a profession or charge you for changing it when the professions have changed so much. So that's also something that we'll be looking into and that I want to implement. Dharma's asked a question, but I don't think he's asking me because he's not in the chat. So, Enlightened, could you answer Dharma C in chat for me? I'm not sure what he's... Oh, okay, he's talking about a...
Right.
Oh, there we go. Okay. I'll just move on from Dharma. I think they're having a bit of difficulty joining the voice chat, perhaps. Does wizard rarity affect effectiveness? Could you have asked that in a more tongue twister way? No, it doesn't. It doesn't affect professions at all. Asking if we can unstake the wizard, would it select a new profession if we stake it again? So you can unstake the wizard, it will keep its progress. However, if you unstake while it's training, I believe it cancels that training, and it also doesn't return the 90 magic fee for that training point. So ideally you don't want to do that. If you're going to unstake it to maybe sell it on the marketplace or send it to another wallet or whatever you want to do, make sure it's not training. Make sure the training's finished so that you don't lose out on any magic. Val, I'll just leave that for like feedback and suggestions rather than a question itself. Kurt, are there unique profession benefits per race? Wizards are better at something than elves are, for example. That's something we have talked about internally as potentially implementing. But balancing that is also a concern. So I guess the answer at this stage is potentially. Does anyone want to jump on and ask their question live? You can just unmute yourself and speak if you want. All good.
Hi, Bani again. Once the game is open to everyone, like how do you know what kind of items or what kind of structures these wizards are going to build?
once we're in game, do you mean how do you know what
Yeah.
what is available to you to build?
Yes.
So the process we will have in place is like, I'm not sure how much I can say actually, how much is set in stone, but you will have sort of a library of learned buildings that you can build. So as you progress through the storyline, as you maybe find, you will learn to build certain structures in different ways. So as you discover these things, those buildings will be added to your library of buildings that you can build, and then you just have to gather the resources that go along with it and build them. So some are locked behind levels, so you're not going to all be building, massive starports or teleporters at the beginning. You're going to start off with the simple buildings, and as you play the game and go through it, you will learn more as you go and build more complex and advanced buildings.
So the advanced structures are directly proportional to your experience. Like once the wizard reaches level 20, then he will have access to advanced structures. That's how it works.
Do you mean the level or the skill level for the profession?
Yeah, the skill level for the profession.
So with the builder profession, there will likely be, sorry, not the builder, the architecture profession, there will be specific buildings in that profession that only that profession can build. But in saying that, that's the same for all of them. So only a farmer can build a farm. Only an alchemist can build like an alchemy laboratory or whatever the building is that goes with each of the professions. But there will be other buildings that you don't need a profession for. So take an advanced house or something like that. Because it's a higher tier building, you might need to be level 3 or 5 or whatever the level is for that structure. And so that's your level in game, not your skill level for your profession. So they're two separate things.
Okay, noted. Thank you.
That's all right. Aid. Asking about staking. It says waiting. I'm going to come back to that later. Not on here. If you already have a profession building constructed, then switch your profession. Does it convert or get destroyed? That's a really good question. I wouldn't think it would convert or be destroyed. I think it would be one of two things. And we haven't really discussed what the plan is yet, but it would likely be one of two things. It will either disappear from your land but remain in your wallet so that you can sell it, transfer it, destroy it, whatever you want to do with it. Or it would had the thought and I lost it. So it would either disappear from your land, I will come back to that because I lost my thought. If you don't mind, Kurt, can you DM me that so I don't forget, and then I will answer you. It's very late here and I've been working for very many hours today. Mao, do any of these professions directly impact the amount of resources our wizards can extract once the game starts? Yes. So the gathering ones definitely do. So you just cannot harvest a tree unless you're a woodcutter. So that directly impacts your ability to harvest wood. Same for mining and crystal extraction, fishing. You wouldn't be able to fish any fish without that profession. Herbalism, you wouldn't be able to harvest any herbs without that profession. That kind of thing. Hopefully that answers that. Yep, great. So how are we going to give this away? What should we do? How do we choose?
The one with the prettiest wizard gets it.
Well, then I'll just keep it, won't I?
What do you mean? Look at me.
I know. You're wearing a hat, though.
It looks good.
It does look good. It's a glorious beard. We'll go with the best question, and then I'll choose at the end the best question. That's always a good one. Okay, so we have a question. Do we still get the passive resource income from being landowners? For instance, if I have no harvester wizards, can I still get resources just by owning land? Yes. Those two functionalities in in-game systems wouldn't be related. So it would just be if somebody, doesn't matter if it's you or whoever, harvests on your land, you will get a certain amount of those resources. Just throw them in general. Bullish. Not directly related to staking itself. When I refresh between staking and training, I get locked out. I haven't noticed that one. Nobody's mentioned that to me before. But now you don't actually have to refresh between staking and training. So Cajun fixed that today so that it refreshes automatically. So hopefully you don't run into that issue moving forward. But if you do, let me know. We can follow that up. Have some people typing. Remember, we're giving a wizard away for the best question. Just gonna wait for these people typing, and if anyone wants to jump in with an audio question, just unmute yourself and fire away. Just a informal chat today.
All right, I still got a small question, I guess. So right now we're basically leveling our wizards through this staking mechanism, right? So when the game launches, we will have a for example, level 15 wizard?
No. So you are leveling your profession's skill. Your wizard will still remain at level 1 or level 0 at the beginning, and you will level up in-game by earning experience doing certain things in the game.
Okay, yep. Okay, then I mixed that up. All right, good. That makes a lot more sense now. All right.
No worries. Will elf staking be a thing before the game comes out? I think that's up to Wizard more than me, but my gut feel would be no. Okay, we have a good question here. What is the purpose for common professions, farming, cooking, fishing? Will wizards need to consume food daily to regain stamina or another reason? That's a really good question. So farming is kind of like a gathering profession, except the resources that you gather aren't found in the wild, so you're going to be farming things like fruit and vegetables, basically, spices, that kind of thing, and those resources will be used in other professions such as cooking, but also perhaps in alchemy, maybe, or you know, however it works out in the end. As for consuming food daily, we've talked about it and we haven't decided yet, because you have to be careful with things like that, as other games can take it too far, where it gets really annoying to sort of watch your water level, watch your energy level, watch your stamina level, watch your food level, watch your temperature level. So we don't want to make it overly complicated, but it's definitely something that we are aware of and talking about as a potential thing. But cooking, to begin with, like where my mind goes is the cooking that is in games like World of Warcraft or Final Fantasy XIV, where you can get short-term buffs that give you some advantage. Maybe you can move faster for a short time, maybe you can have increased stats in something for a short time. All of that is still to be determined, and it's just, you know, theoretical at the moment. Hopefully that's answered that. Question from Cade: what are your biggest deflationary plans? It's going to be a lot of magic flooding the market if 40 magic a day gets printed from a lot of people. That part of that is the timing. So that's part of the reason why there is a training time, rather than just being able to upgrade all the way right now and have 10,000 wizards emitting 40 magic per day. So it's going to be a slow build over the next couple of months before we start seeing a lot of magic being emitted. The magic that is spent on these upgrades, so the 90 magic per training point, that's what we're using to emit that magic to each player as well. So that's sort of going to be recycled in a sense. Deflationary points, I'd say most will be in game. There will be a lot of uses for both magic and cosmic in game. Magic will be the primary token for, well, not the primary, it'll be the only token for trading on the marketplace, at least until we have resources on there and they will be traded in stablecoin. Yeah, I hope I've answered that. I think I've answered that. I'll move on to Kurt. Might there be cosmetic augmentations of the wizards themselves per profession? Like in WoW, for example, there are mounts that only certain professions could use. Potentially, that's something. Definitely cosmetic things is a big thing, and that probably relates to what Cade was just talking about. Burning things like cosmic for those cosmetic changes in game. That is one of the deflationary plans that we have down the track. Is the staking one profession at a time going to be the same when the game comes out too? No. So when the game comes out, you could be walking down the road. If you're a woodcutter and a miner, you see a tree, you cut down that tree and you may get a skill point for cutting it down. You move a little bit further up the road, you see a rock, you harvest that rock with your pickaxe and you might get a point in your mining skill. So it just depends on the actions that you take. So you will have both concurrently and level them up by doing those actions in the world. Question from Vale. Will in the future it be possible via the use of items, potions, cosmic magic to speed up training? Potentially through, like, not directly, but maybe indirectly. So items, potions, and things. You could have things that increase your movement speed so that you can get from resource to resource faster. You could have things that increase your energy recovery so that you're replenishing your energy faster so that you can harvest more frequently, things like that. So not directly where you can just go and pay for a level, but indirectly that way. I think, I imagine that's how it would be done. And of course, for those things, you have to engage with the professions, have people make things for you, perhaps buy it from the marketplace, however it works, but it's all sort of contributing to the ecosystem that we want to build. Will it take roughly the same amount of time to level professions once the game starts as it does with training, or will it be accelerated? That's hard to say. Yeah, I don't think I can really answer that with any accuracy whatsoever. It depends on you know, all sorts of things like how much energy you have and all that. Is there any plan for any of the craftable items to increase staking rewards? Rewards for gathering resources such as a craftable mining pick that gives... yes, so we do have sort of plans around that sort of thing. Maybe not that specifically, but yes, there will be craftable items that will improve your gameplay.
I also have a question that's sort of similar to this, about the fashion design profession.
Tailoring, yep.
Yeah, tailoring. It says that you can like create different like clothing items and stuff like that. Does that mean when I put them on that they change my actual NFT in appearance?
So it won't change your NFT.
Okay.
The NFT will keep its, like, let's look at this guy. So he'll keep his robe, which is the V-style robe. So that will always be attached to this NFT. However, we have talked about in-game being able to change appearance based on equipped robes, hats, and things like that. So it's possible, but we're not entirely certain how that will play out. If it turns out that things like that aren't viable for whatever reason, the tailoring will be more around things that aren't on the NFT, like maybe a belt or some gloves or some boots, that sort of thing, a scarf, or anything that doesn't already exist on the NFT itself as an attribute.
All right, gotcha.
But ideally, we do want to be able to change the way that the characters look. I think that's a really fun part of an MMO.
Yeah, totally. I guess a second question to that is, will there be different tiers of clothing rarity or something like that, like common or uncommon, legendary, something like that?
You'll just have to wait and see.
All right, okay.
All right, I think I was up to Dish here. If I've missed a question, just please copy and paste it so I don't go past it. But Dish says, with regards to the staves, how would we be able to use them for speeding a task? For example, speeding build time and which type of crystals get mined since resources are crystals. I'm not sure I know exactly what you mean, Dish. Yeah, I see you typing. Just clarify that and I'll come back to it. Has there been any utility discussed for the pets? Possibly something like the ability to send them on missions where they collect resources. We have discussed companion utility, yes. And I'll leave it at that. Somebody was in the bathroom. Cool. Moving on. Oh, Dharma, you've joined. Okay. What was your question? It was, will there be a fixed runway period for wizard staking, or is it till a certain date or amount of magic has been emitted? So, at this point, we haven't fixed anything, but there will be an end date. And our plan is to let you all know well in advance once we know when that is. So you're just gonna have to bear with us for the moment until that's decided. Ideally it would. We're not gonna sort of stop it before everyone's had a good chance to get their ROI back. Otherwise, what's the point? You are welcome. Alright, I'm going to say that I'm going to answer questions for 9 more minutes. I might actually get Wizard Blizzard to choose the best question for me. Were you here for most of it, Wiz? I'm not sure. I didn't see when you joined. Okay. Maybe we should give the wizard to you, just for that. Okay, I'll let you choose the best question. Any other questions? Don't forget, like, even if you know the answer, or not even if you know the answer, but just if this is getting recorded, so I just want to make sure that we cover everything for people that aren't here as well, if there's anything that you guys can think of. Okay, so if we have to speed the build time for constructing something. So are you referring to like the time crystals NFTs that were minted months ago? Because that's what would be used for sort of increasing the speed that something is being constructed at. If the game comes out, do we still earn by staking, or how does the reward system change? So no, yes and no. So you'll be able to stake land while the game is live, but you won't be able to stake wizards anymore. It will stop before the game is released. And the reward system will change to one of playing the game. So there'll be all sorts of ways to earn through playing the game. Like, one of them is professions. Like, this will be a massive part of the game and earning potential. Like, you know, if you're harvesting resources and just selling those resources, or if you're harvesting resources, building something, crafting something with those resources, and then selling those NFTs on the marketplace. So, like, that's just one way as well. There's all sorts of ways that earning will be done, but it will be through playing the game primarily. Gabe, that's probably not for me. I can't answer whether the gameplay will be followed by a marketing push. That would be an AMA question, probably for Wizard Blizzard or something. Will specific wizard rarities have any effect on staking rewards? No. No, they won't. Does the levels of the wizards influence land staking? No, that's a separate thing as well. The levels of the land will influence land staking. Can the crystals mined and cut using our professions also be used to speed things? I would say possibly, but unlikely. Cool, thank you. That was answered in chat. That wizard rarity will grant a bonus login amount of in-game currency, right? So that will be... So the bonus login, the check-in bonus that you get, that will be for whatever you get. Usually that would apply to, say, Cosmic, if Cosmic was included in the reward, or any resources, things that we can add percentages to. So if you got an item, say an artifact, in a check-in bonus, we wouldn't be able to add 5% to an artifact, but whatever we can add the check-in bonus to, we would. Nice. Oh, there you go. Gabe, Riz has answered your question. Gameplay demo will be followed by a marketing push. Well, I think that's covered pretty much everything. The questions are dying down a bit. Wiz, have you chosen a best question for me? Okay, so Wiz will DM me the best question, and then I'll make an announcement letting everyone know who that was, and then we can send this this wizard to them. Well, hopefully you all found that insightful or helpful in some way. And like, even if you think of something later on, you can just ask the question in chat, or you can DM me or one of the other team members. It's fine. No worries. Yes, it is well past my bedtime. Alright. Thanks, guys.